Everybody, it's Dr. Willie Jolley.
And this is D. Taylor Jolley.
And it is Happily Married Monday with the Jolleys.
And this is June.
June the 3rd, 2019. June, for many of you know, is the month of love.
Weddings.
Weddings. It's the month of weddings. We got married
Which
in
suggests it is of love because you get married.
We got married in June.
We got married in June.
And we're excited that we're going to have our 34th wedding anniversary in celebration on the 28th is our wedding anniversary. And we are excited to announce that we have heard your requests. We've heard your pleas, your asking.
Your interest.
And we're going to be having our
first
event for couples.
For married couples.
What do they have to? They have to be married? No, they don't have to be married. They could be dating.
We're Jolly marriage.
Yeah, but they could be dating.
Okay, dear.
All right. They don't have to be married. So, hey, Olympia, who is our meeting planner, Olympia
for this event,
who is helping us put this event together on the 29th of June.
The event planner.
Yes. We're going to have a Happily Married Monday. No, what do we call it? Jolly Anniversary Marriage Enrichment
Event.
Brunch.
It is a brunch.
Yes. Saturday the 29th here in Washington, D.C. Now, we know everybody's not in Washington, so hopefully we'll get to your city sometime and do an event. But we are.
So this is our first one.
So we'll celebrate our anniversary by teaching others what we have learned and what we have put in the book so that others can have great marriages. If you want to enhance your marriage, if you want to enrich your marriage, if you want to upgrade your marriage,
jollymarriage.com on Friday.
Improve your marriage.
The unveil of what we're doing will be Friday. This Friday, which is what? The 7th?
Yeah.
And you'll just go to jollymarriage.com for more information.
Well, you can register. Now,
yes. For registration.
Registration. It's going to be a very small. This is not going to be a big. This is
so
intimate.
We're starting out.
Intimate. We're going to do it in a place that doesn't hold hundreds of people. We've spoken at a couple marriage retreats and events where they've had 3, 6.
But this
people.
Is our event. We're putting on our own
we're putting
event.
our first event on, and it's going to be a special brunch with us, celebrating our anniversary by helping others to have more and more and greater anniversaries.
And we get to celebrate your anniversary, regardless of the date.
Yes. So the 29th
you're coming to be with us.
Is going to be a very intimate, and we are excited about it. The fact that there will be a brunch, so you can come, bring your significant other.
Okay, you were supposed to sing.
Oh, well, I had to get that out first because that's very important. And once I saw,
we'll repeat.
We'll repeat it for the end.
Okay, but the month of June is the #1 wedding month, and so my sweetie is going to sing to you.
Going to the chapel and we're gonna get married. Going to the chapel and we're going to get married. She wanted me to sing.
I really love you and I going to get married. Going to the chapel of love.
Oh boy.
So
love and marriage, love and marriage go together like a horse and carriage. I don't know.
That was a song. I know. That's how you know. It was a song done by Frank Sinatra, sang originally in 1955, before most of you guys were born. So here's an
June is the
most popular month for weddings.
Yep.
But statistics also show that January is the most popular month for divorce.
So from June to January, people are divorcing.
So something's happening.
Something happening.
And they say,
what happens in those 6 months? that makes the people who got married, maybe they got married in any June and a year and a half or 2.5 years. But there are other
things that are going on.
We do know somebody who got married. Oh, we do know somebody who got married, and 6 months later they were divorced.
Well, we do.
We do. So we got to keep more people together. We want to make more marriages work.
So the question becomes, how do we keep the joy of June alive?
Yes. How do we do that? How do we get the joy of June? That so excited about getting married, getting together. How do we keep that enthusiasm, that excitement, that fervor going past just June through every month, and that they stay together for years?
80% of weddings occur in a church or a synagogue.
Oh, wow.
Now, we were different.
Yeah.
Because we got married at City Hall.
Yep, we did.
The Justice of the Peace.
Justice of the Peace.
Went out for lunch and came back married.
Yes, we did.
But still together 34 years later.
Yes, we did. Can I tell the story?
If you can do it, have the abbreviated version. And when you come for our first annual anniversary, the Jolley in Richmond, he'll tell you.
So I kept trying to tell this woman here that I needed to be the guy she married. But she liked dating me. We went out on dates. We had been together dating for 4 years, but and
I moved away.
She moved away, but she kept saying, no, I don't want to get married. No, I don't want to get married. No. And I kept saying...
But he was my best friend.
Yes, and I had the hots for her on top of that.
And I suggested other people I thought he should marry.
And I kept saying, you're the one I want to marry. So I went down to Hampton, Virginia on one Thursday. A friend of mine.
And he would come periodically, at least once a month.
Yep, but the friend of mine, but I always come on Saturdays and Sundays. I'd come Saturday and leave Sunday.
Or Friday evening.
Or Friday night and leave Sunday. Well, this time my friend and his wife were going to Virginia Beach. We're praying for everybody in Virginia Beach, by the way, for all of that. We want to let you know that we really are feeling this tragedy that continues to happen in our country, and that is disrupting marriages, disrupting lives, disrupting families by foolish thinking.
We're praying for the people in Virginia Beach, and I'm from Hampton.
Yeah.
So it's close to home.
All right. So my friend was going to Virginia Beach, and I said, it's a Thursday. Can I ride with you and his wife? He said, sure. I told Dee, I'm coming down to visit a little early. So that Friday morning, I said, let's go to lunch. She said, oh, okay. One of my favorite places was Fisherman's Wharf in Hampton. It used to be in Hampton, no longer there. It's only in Norfolk now. But anyway, we were going to go to Fisherman's Wharf in Hampton. And on the way to Fisherman's Wharf, she had been saying, no.
We're having the repeated discussion.
Don't you still, what about getting married? No. I said, let me ask you a question. Is it out of the realm of possibility that you would ever want to marry me? She said, well, it's not impossible. It's just improbable. I don't want to get married. I said, so it's not out of the realm of possibility. It's not impossible. It's just improbable. Correct. I said, okay, would it make sense if you ever change your mind? I'm here on a Friday and never here on a Friday, that I would be able to learn what it would take to marry you? I mean, if you change your mind, maybe in Virginia, does it take a 3-day wait? Does it take a blood test? What's the thing to get a marriage license? She said, what? I said, well, why don't we just stop by the City Hall and just find out?
So City Hall was on the way
to Fisherman's Wharf.
Actually on the same road.
Yep. I said, well, let's stop by. So we stopped by City Hall, and I go in and I say to her, I said, come on with me.
We go in.
I say to the lady at the front, I'm just doing some research. I'm doing some informational research or informational interview. What would it take to be able to get married here in Hampton, Virginia? Do you need a 3-day wait? Do you need a blood test? What do you need? She said, it's no wait, no blood test. All you need is $7 and you can get a license. I said, $7? You can get a license?
He has $7.
I said, I got $7. I said, I tell you what, how long is this thing good for? She said, it's good for a year. I said to Dee, wouldn't it make sense that we get a license and $7 if you change your mind in a year, we'd at least have the license. She said, your $7, I'm not getting married. I ain't thinking about it. I said, okay. I said to the lady, I said, hey, great. Now I said, if you were going to get married, you had your license, what would be the next thing? What happened? She said, you'd go to the Justice of the Peace and get on his docket and I'll get him to get married. But the problem is that we have a 3-week backup for the Justice of the Peace for people to get married. I said, really? I said, oh. I said, well, wouldn't it make sense to us to go up, at least look, go up the stairs and look and talk to the people and just find out all the information we could get? And she said, okay, but by this time I'm talking faster and faster. So we're going up the stairs. And I'm talking fast, and she don't know what's going on. I'm talking fast, and we get up to the Justice of the Peace, and the lady who's there, the assistant, who's taking her. I said, hey, I'm calling to get some information. I told that if you had a license, you get the Justice of the Peace, and then you get the Justice of the Peace, and then you would get on the docket. And she said, yes. I said, and how would that work? She said, well, there's a 3-week waiting list, but we just had a cancellation. 15 minutes later, I was a married man. What you got to say about that?
I have nothing to say.
But
it was the best decision I stumbled into.
Amen. And that's 34 years.
34 years ago on June 28th.
June 28th. So we want to, hey, my daughter is watching. Hey, daughter. Is watching. We got Jill Tweed, my other daughter, is watching. And we got people, this thing has blown up. We got so many people who are sharing with other friends and family members. We ask you to share. We're going to talk about how to get married, how to stay married, what are the principles you need. Hey, Becky Lindsay Anderson. Isn't that a great story? It's a great story, and it's a true story. And so, for those who don't know, we have a book called Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last, 10 Secrets to Shape a Great Marriage. And we also have the audio live version and just delivered to me yesterday, day before yesterday?
No. Because
Saturday.
Today's Monday.
Saturday.
So Saturday?
I got the audio book from the producer.
The actual audio book that we completed a couple of months ago.
The full audio version. So we'll be able to be, those who like audio books, want to hear it on Audible or things like that, or just put it in their car or listen to it. You'll have the full book in audio. It's done. We're sending it off to get it packaged, but we will have it available soon. It's done.
It'll be available by the end of June.
Oh, it'll be available a lot before then. Before then, we should have it in a few weeks.
Oh.
You could probably start pre-ordering at some point.
Okay.
We'll have that later on the week. JollyMarriage.com. Okay, so we've been talking about June is the month most people get married. We got married in June. We've been married
by going to the Justice of the Peace. While the majority get married in a church or a synagogue. Okay. I think it's interesting to know also that 1/3 of the people who get married today are second marriages.
1/3 of them?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
The research says 1/3 of the people getting married today, this is a second marriage. And that was for me.
Okay.
I was one of those 1/3 of the people each year who get married have been married previously.
Right. But you were just waiting for me.
Yes, dear. It worked out well.
It worked out well for me. It worked out well for me.
And according to, our statistics come from the Pew Center Research Center, and in this particular case for religious and public life says that a research that was done in 2014 says that only 48% of people today are getting married. And that 1/4 of Americans never get married.
Okay. Well, we want to help
for those of us
who do get married.
And because we know that.
Hold, let me finish. And those who might want to get married, remember there's a chapter in the book for people who are not yet married, for single people, on how to choose the right one. Not how to find them, how when you get a person who possible.
Prospect?
A prospect. We don't want to be a suspect. We want to be prospect, how to know if they're the right one, how to have some simple test in your brain and say, let me do this and see if this is the right person.
So you seek wise counsel, at least by using our book as a guide.
For those not yet married, okay? So we want to make sure you get that book. If you're not married, get the book. It gives you some really good principles that will work. Life is about principles. We've learned our success in our business and our marriage and our life is about our principles. We have very clear principles that we use in every part of our life. That's why we don't argue. So how do you keep the June love going so that you don't have the divorce by January?
I like the joy of June.
The joy of June is principles.
What's the primary principle?
Well, first principle is that friends first. We put them in the book in 10 steps. Friends. That you are friends. You know, people get married for all sorts of reasons. They get married because somebody looked good. They get married because somebody had a nice car. They get married because people had some money. Some people want to get married because
friends first requires time.
It takes time to find out if this is your friend, or as Ms. Bernice Mitchell said, is this a friend or is this an impersonator? And we want to make sure
it takes time to develop that friendship.
And where are your values? Where are your values? We have values that we have the same value set, and we believe the same things. Like one of our values is that we believe in God.
Yes.
And we give God glory, and we trust God, and we worship God.
And God is the majority
owner of our marriage,
of our relationship.
Yep. Triangle. 3 corners. 1, 2, 3. This is me, this is D, and this is God. Now that's 100% covered. 33 is 66, which leaves 34. God gets the majority. And we run everything through the premise of the triangle. What would God say?
So that means that we govern our lives by God's principles, and we study.
Yeah, and
Bible
it works.
study, yes,
and it works. We don't argue. We don't fuss and fight. We don't get mad at each other. We're not drama filled, and that's important because of the principles. Find principles. We got the principles here. The principles work. Just read the book. Use the principles. They didn't all come from us. We are grateful for the people who we've interviewed, who've been married 40, 50, 60, even 70 years, who we put either in the book or in the audio or in these Monday messages.
All right, so let's go back to how do you keep the joy of June alive?
How do you keep? So
you got one.
So that's one of the principles. The other, and we got a lot of them
first,
but then.
And communication.
Communication. Let's go. That's good. Communication is critical. How we talk to each other is incredibly important.
And I think that is as important as what you're actually saying.
As much or more important.
I love this word, nuances. It's such a cool word.
You've been talking about nuances. She said that to me yesterday. Nuances.
It's how you say it. It's the body language. It's all of that, which often cannot be conveyed through a tweet, right, or through an email, or even written, but to actually hear your voice.
Yes.
And see your facial expressions and see your body language makes such a world of difference in terms of communicating or sharing how you feel about something.
So we want you to be mindful, if you're in a relationship, before it comes out of your mouth, before you say it, think about it. Think about what you're going to say and how you're going to say it so that it's not hurtful. We make a very big effort to not hurt each other and to be respectful of each other.
Because the words can be very, very painful.
I think back to a friend of yours who said something to her husband, and he could never get past it, and they ended up divorcing because she said something that hurt him. We don't hurt each other. We don't hurt each other. And if by chance I do or say something, or she does or says something that hurts either of us, we tell each other, you hurt my feelings.
And I think that you have
real quick, what happens when I say you hurt my feelings? What do you do?
I say I'm sorry, quickly.
I want to make sure people heard that. I don't want to get past that. If I tell her, you hurt my feelings, here's what happened, and here's what, I don't need to know what were her motivation for it, because that's not important. As the important part is that she recognized that my feelings were hurt, and then she apologizes, or if she said it to me, I
because
would apologize.
it is never my intent.
Right. That's
to hurt.
Intention.
Yes.
Intention. See, some people I want to hurt intentionally because they want to get their way. They want to use it as a leverage. No, that doesn't sustain a long relationship. That gets the June joy gone quick. All right, you're getting ready to say something.
Now I don't know what I was going to say.
All right, that's okay. All right. So communication. We want to talk sweet to each other. We have sweet talk. We talk sweetly to each other all day long.
Oh, I was going to say, it's a learned thing. When I say, so I think when we first got married, it was difficult for me to share all of the thoughts and everything that went through my head. Sometimes I would mull it over for long periods of time before I figured out, well, how is he going to receive this? I got to figure out how to say it. He's upset me. I'm annoyed. How do I say things so that he will understand what I'm feeling and not become offended? So once I started to just share, say, this is what I'm feeling. This is what you did, and this is how it made me feel. And the more we share with each other, the more comfortable we are, and we understand each other better, which makes it even easier to get along.
Right. So
that way you can anticipate. You can start to anticipate what the other person is going to say or do, and it makes for just a very a joyful relationship.
Yep.
Because you really have fun together.
You know, we understand in communication that it is not just the speaking, but it's also the listening. Listening. Communication is greatly influenced by how you listen.
And some research says that listening is more important than the speaking.
So I want to know, Stephen Covey, who I had the honor of being on tour with in Australia, said in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, could be 7 Habits of Highly Effective Marriages, because he said, seek first to understand what the other person is saying before trying to be understood what you're saying. Seek first to understand. And that's why we tell people the LQC. Listen, question, clarify. Listen. Question.
And you know what? Listening says, here's my story. Here's the situation. And you're listening not so that you can then say what you were going to say anyway.
No. Hi, Deandra. Good to have you. We want to thank everybody while we're thinking about it. Thank everybody for sharing this with their friends and family members, telling people about it. We are amazed how many people stop us and say, I watch you on Monday nights. What? I mean, one after another, people in most interesting places. So we want to thank you for sharing it. It would not have happened if you did not share it with your friends and your family members and your co-workers and your peers.
So come have fun with us on June 29th.
29th in D.C.
Okay, so let's go back to
Brunch with the Jolleys. Okay, so we got only a few more minutes.
So listen, question, clarify. And you're listening so that you can get a clear
Did
story.
You mean, and so the question is, did you mean No? You meant, why didn't I get it now. Listen, question, make sure you understand, repeat it. Clarify.
And it helps to I think that helps to create empathy too. Now that you really understand what the story is and what they're feeling.
And before you even if you're angry or you're peeved or you're bothered, don't flip out, because
I think that's a learned behavior.
That's a learned behavior, and it impacts relationships. It impacts marriages. It impacts the status of the relationship. People angry all the time. People mad.
But that becomes the culture of your household. That affects the whole culture of your household.
People won't come home because they don't want to argue. Or like the guy who came here, whose wife was pregnant, and she was calling. He looked at the phone.
He was a friend of ours,
and he wouldn't answer the phone because he said all she does is nag me.
Yes.
Now we said,
so they need to have had a conversation.
Yeah. Your wife is pregnant. She could be ready to go to the hospital. She's calling you, He said, but all she does is nag. So he was wrong for not taking her call, and she was wrong for conditioning him that every time she would call him, it was nag, 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 nag.
So what? So what was the problem there? They needed to have a conversation.
They had to have a conversation.
So what was that? The
4 F's. 4 F's. Be friendly, be frank, be fair, be focused on a positive result. Now, when friendly, don't start off hostile ever in any difficult conversation. But the frank part is what messes people up. Because some people think when you're frank, you just tell them, here's what you did. Here's what you did. Oh, you did this. And the reason you did this. Well, that's not what we talk about from frank.
You're putting up defenses.
Frank means, here's how that made me feel.
I think you have to deal with the action. When you did this, we don't know the motivation.
Well, we don't know. No, we don't know the motivation, but it's called SBI.
SBI.
Right, okay. Situation, behavior, impact. It always ends with impact. The situation. Here was the situation. Here was the behavior that happened. I'm not saying what was your motivation, because I don't know. No one knows the motivation, but here's impact. Here's how that made me feel. Wow.
And that might not have been the intent of the other person.
There you go. So, situation, behavior, impact. At 4S, friendly, frank, then fair. Go back to listen, question, clarify.
That wasn't my intent.
Oh, I didn't realize you were feeling it. Or I didn't realize you were going through this. Or whatever. Then finally, friendly, frank, fair, focused on a positive result.
So how do we work this out? What do we need to
What's
do? What
the end? We want to win.
Focus so that we can be on the same side of the table and hold hands and all that. Yes. So what is it going to take?
It's going to take us talking and saying, I'm sorry. I wasn't.
It's going to take us sweet talking.
Yep.
So if we can work on so that we can have the joy of June.
If
we can just start with
positive communication.
Befriending.
Be friendly. Friends first. We could go through the sex points, but if you don't communicate, sex. I
don't think you're gonna get to the sex.
No. Sex is great. We know that when we talk about sex, our numbers on this show go up exponentially, and we're gonna be talking about sex a lot in June.
Do you know what? Yeah, but you can have a touch on. There's love and there's lust. I think we need both of those.
Yeah, I think so too. I got the lust for you.
Thank you, sweetheart. Okay, let's get back to. So we're gonna touch on that. June, love and lust, but right now, let's go. Before we can even get to that, you got to be friends, don't you?
We got to be friends.
Yeah, you got to like being with each other.
We really like being with each other, and we enjoy just spending time together because we've got systems and we got principles that work. We want to encourage you. Our time is almost up. June 29th. If you're in D.C.,
come hang out with us.
It's going to be a special anniversary enrichment
a Jolley marriage
brunch.
Enrichment event. It's going to be a brunch.
It's going to be a special brunch where it's going to be intimate. It's only going to be
activities.
A certain number, not going to be big, because we're going to have it in a nice restaurant, and lunch and brunch will be included in the registration fee. It's going to be fantastic. If you're interested, how about this? If you're interested, just send us at info@williejolly.com. Say,
or
let me finish. If you're interested, just info@williejolly.com. Do that immediately. Say, I want to know more. I want to come. I just want to be there. Me and my significant other. I want to be there. Or
visit jollymarriage.com on Friday.
Yeah, but Friday some of these people want to make sure, because when it sells out, it sells out.
That's true.
It only got, I think we can have 60 people, 50 people in that place.
20. Is it
20 or 25 couples?
20 couples?
25 couples.
Okay.
That's total.
Okay.
And then it's going to sell out.
So first come, first serve. We're excited.
All right, we're excited. It's going to be a great event. Our anniversary and a special anniversary marriage enrichment brunch with the Jolleys, Washington, D.C., June 29th, from 10 till 2. What a great day. All right, so I want to thank Olympia Borley for helping us put this together.
Yes.
I want to thank my wife for being sweet and working with me on all the many things. Oh, last thing is, for those who are watching, this Saturday night at 9:30 Eastern Time, on the Trinity Network, TRI Network, I'll be featured on the Hour of Power broadcast with Bobby Schuler. I'm the special guest. You'll hear me announce the official launching of our new movement, which is called Jolly Good News. In a time where we have so much bad news, sad news, fake news, false news, depressing news, devastating news that impacts your spirit, it's time for some good news, and that's what we're going to do. And I truly believe that this situation in Virginia Beach was a result of just overwhelming bad news that perverted someone's thinking. You hear enough bad news, you start to think crazy thoughts. Why would you go in a building and shoot your coworkers who've done nothing to you, people who you've worked with, who've been kind to you, shoot them and kill them, and then get in a shootout with police where you're going to lose your life? What sense? But that's perverted thinking because of bad news. A constant barrage, a constant diet of bad news. It has to end. It has to end. Kids going into schools, shooting up schools because somebody called them names, they bullied them, bad news. They feel that we need good news. Now it's time for good news, and I'm leading the charge. Who's with me? Go to jollygoodnews.org. Jollygoodnews.org. We're going to change the world, starting with one. You know, the old saying said, it starts with one, and then another, and then another. And before you know it, you have an army. You want to be part of my army to change the world and change this bad news and fill the world with some good news. I'm on a mission.
We're the Jolleys.
We're Jolleys.
Jolly out.
Love y'all. God bless.